Cinderella is another of the Phoenix games that features a mix between watching a cartoon and a collection of mini-games. This title, along with several other similar Phoenix titles, was developed by Aqua Pacific. The game follows the same template as the Phoenix games titles developed by the Code Monkeys, but with some differences. The most apparent distinction is the cartoon, which is not taken from Dingo's library of grotesque moving drawings. The cartoons found on Aqua Pacific's Phoenix games titles is of notably better quality than the Dingo's, including the presentation, audio, story and everything else comparable. Most of the cartoons can also be said to be more enjoyable on a technical level, and include a mix of computer and drawing animations. The runtime is also around 15 minutes, compared to the 30 to 45 minutes Dingo's take. While Dingo's were more brazen when copying Disney films, Aqua Pacific often went with their own versions of the classical fairy tales, and only similar to Disney in name. The cartoon found in this game is based on the classic Italian folk tale of Cinderella, but with a modern setting. Cinderella is a girl living in the suburbs of the city of Ruston, doing household chores for her lazy stepmother and her two horrible daughters. After crashing a party, she charms the prince with a disco dance-off. Like the Code Monkeys Dingo titles, the Aqua Pacific games also use the same template between their own games, with similar title screen, presentation, content and sound effects and music found on their other Phoenix games. The mini-games are the same to those found in the Code Monkeys titles, with only a difference in execution and quality. Aqua Pacific's games is more interactive and also includes background music. Mini-games consist of sliding puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, find the pairs and coloring images. Aqua Pacific, a video game development house originally based in Warwickshire, England, was formed in 1997 with the intent to establish a base of commercial and published software. The company originally specialized in conversions between PlayStation, PC, and Game Boy Color, such as the PlayStation port of Carmageddon, but branched out to game development. Over 40 commercial titles were released over the years. Other than Phoenix games, Aqua Pacific also developed for companies such as Infogrames, Sales Curve Interactive, Ubisoft, and Dreamcatcher, though most were forgettable sports games. The company was closed in January 2008 and the majority of the staff was hired by Blitz Games. Hansel and Gretel consists of the same type of mini-games and cartoon found on the other releases. The cartoon is based on the classic German Brothers Grimm fairy tale. It tells the story of two siblings who are abandoned in a forest and fall into the hands of a witch who lives in a house filled with candy. In the original fairy tale, the house itself is made of gingerbread. The cartoon, with a runtime of about 8 minutes, forgoes the usual endings of the story. In the original story the witch is burnt to death in her oven, but in the cartoon she survives and only gets sent out the pipe by an explosion. The evil stepmother also doesn't die in the cartoon, but gets a divorce and is sent away by her ex. While the cartoon and animations are of adequate quality, the voice actor narrating and speaking for the characters are sadly more on par with the Dingo's cartoons.
Ho ho ho! Welcome to the forest! Now it's time for some amazing stories. Listen to one of my tales full of wonders and amaze.
Shut up! Shut up!
According to websites such as Moby Games, Legend of Camelot was developed by Brain in a Jar. The game itself is identical to those developed by Aqua Pacific. It includes the usual cartoon and minigames. The 5-minute cartoon is a derivative of King Arthur and Disney's Sword in the Stone. It is set in the olden days when there was a fiery war between Britain and the Saxons. During a great battle, Arthur, the son of the King and Queen of Britain, is taken into hiding by his teacher wizard Merlin. Years later, a mysterious sword in a stone appears in London. The words "Whosoever pulls the sword from the stone shall be the legitimate king of all Britain" are engraved in the stone. The game is unrelated to the Code Monkeys PS1 release of the Sword of Camelot published by Midas Games in 2000, which does contain a dingo cartoon including live-action segments.
Do you know who I am?
Brain in a Jar was a British video game studio which was founded in 1998 and closed in 2014. The company was known for its focus on racing titles and secured licenses for various platforms including Nintendo Wii, Xbox, PC, and Xbox 360. Their development ethos was to create solid and flexible technology for physics, rigid body dynamics, and rendering capable of supporting a varied array of vehicle-based games and simulations. Peter Pan includes a standard 4 minigames and a short cartoon. It features the same god-awful cover computer-generated design as all the other Aqua Pacific Phoenix titles. The cartoon is an obvious rip-off of Disney's Peter Pan, with characters created to look like those featured in the movie. The plot of the cartoon followed the same story beats as the Disney movie. It revolves around 3 young children who go on an adventure with Peter Pan to Neverland. While they are there, Peter's nemesis, Captain Hook, kidnaps his friend Tiger Lily.
Our story about fulfilled wishes, dreams, and adventures comes to an end too. As you know, all's well that ends well. However, if you don't forget about your dreams, your favorite story characters will surely come back to you.
Pinocchio follows the usual template of the Aqua Pacific titles. The cartoon is based on the classic Italian fantasy novel, The Adventures of Pinocchio, first published in 1882. The story follows the many adventures of the wooden puppet Pinocchio, who dreams of becoming a real boy. The cartoon condenses the original story down to 6 minutes. The animation and voice acting is of passably quality and also includes musical numbers.
I'll be good, I promise. I'll go straight to school.
Come on, come on!
Maybe I will go and play. I will go with you. Oh, now I'm turning donkey. Take it easy every day. No hard work, that's the way. Now I see a sharky. Hope my daddy saves me. Pinocchio, brave but foolish boy. Change your ways, stop being a naughty puppet toy. Daddy could be talking to a post. I'll always be a puppet. Puppets just the most. Okay, girls and boys.
Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys, released as Princess Snow White for the Nintendo DS and Wii, includes the standard mini-games and cartoon. The PS2 release is apparently rare and goes for ridiculous money online. The cartoon is based on Disney's 1937 movie, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, which itself is based on the Brothers Grimm 1812 German fairy tale, Snow White. The cover of the game is also deliberately made to look like the Disney movie, though with a horrible result. The cartoon followed Disney's story, but with some deviation on different details, such as the boys who is not afflicted with dwarfism, including a character that is depicted as a blackface stereotype. It tells the tale of Princess Snow White who lives deep in a forest with 7 clever boys who work every day to protect the forest's greenery and environment. One day an evil queen disguises herself as an old hag and tricks Snow White into taking a bite from a poisonous apple, which causes her to go into an everlasting sleep.
Look, there in the distance, a cloud of dust.
Could it be that a miracle was about to take place? That a Prince Charming on a noble horse would come to save Snow White? But was this really Prince Charming? Yes, it was. Hooray! When he saw Snow White, he gave her a soft, loving kiss. And, well, the result was unbelievably beautiful and simply magical in every way.
Weird, weird.